What else could we talk about? Maybe we could look up who maybe some of the biggest penises in WWE today, or maybe all time. It's so weird sitting on this couch, and this is my second time starting this episode because the first time I fucked something up. But welcome back to Midwest Midcard. This is episode 55. If this is your first time listening, thank you so much for doing that. Normally, there's more than one person here, but this is a solo episode. So if you come back from an episode last week, we had 3 different people here. And then before then, it's always been 2 people. But this week, it's only 1. So if you come back next week, or if you came from last week, it's going to be a little bit confusing. But if you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, make sure you share it with all of your friends all across the world. Please do so. If you are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave a 5-star frog splash review. I'm not even gonna cut that one. I'm just gonna leave it. Like RVD, leave that review. And any other, we're on Google Podcast, I think, Amazon Music, if you want to, I guess if you want to watch it there or listen to it there. And hopefully the previous episodes won't be as weird as this one. It's hard to carry the show by yourself, you know. Most weeks I have to carry it by myself, but at least I have Brandon here as a buffer, so he can say some stuff every now and then. Shout out to him. This time, I just have to rely on myself. It's just me, Oos. Day 1-ish. It's just me. We got some stuff on the agenda that I definitely wrote last minute. And I have a lot of notes, but this, like I said, this might be a shorter episode. So try to enjoy it and try to just hang out with me while we go over some of that wrestling shit. We have Elimination Chamber, Raw, and then some other Twitter controversies that the internet wrestling community has been a part of. And by me being a part of it, I've also seen it. I've been there. I haven't really interacted much with it or given my opinion, but I do have this platform that I made for myself, so I can just come here and just say whatever the hell I want. So here I am. So first, let's go over some Elimination Chamber stuff. First, if this is your first time listening, we typically have a predictions championship that we go for. We predict the matches for the WWE pay-per-views, and then whoever gets the most points wins the predictions championship. Currently, our champion is Logan. He is in his first successful defense after beating Brennan and I at the Royal Rumble. And Izzy just joined me on the couch. Say hi, Izzy. What do you want to say? Okay. You got something on your nose or something. I don't know what that is. Probably yogurt because I got kids. You know? Don't be looking that up, please. As far as Elimination Chamber, I think it was a good show. I enjoyed it a lot. I did wake up I ended up waking up at 4:30, so it was right on time for the pre-show match, which was the Kabuki Warriors versus Indy Hartwell and I'm blanking on her name. Candice LeRae. So Indy, being the local gal, they brought her out. They had a pretty average match, nothing too crazy, but it was nice to see Indy and Candice and to get the Kabuki Warriors having a defense, since they don't get much love in this whole damage control thing, in my opinion, I would say. Some others may disagree. So as far as the actual main show, Becky Lynch ended up winning the Women's Elimination Chamber, which was a surprise to very few, I would say. Most expected her to win. I expected her to win. They kind of set us up for her to win anyway, with the whole, her coming out during the kickoff and standing up to Rhea Ripley of the past few weeks. So very telegraphed result. The match was good. Definitely It was a showcase for Tiffany Stratton. I've said it on previous episodes of this show. I am a huge fan of Tiffany. I love her work. It doesn't hurt that she's very easy on the eyes. She's a very good looking girl. You know, what can I say? She looked great. The crowd in Perth, Australia was just fucking loving her. They couldn't get enough of her. And I mean, I can't disagree with them. Like I said, some other stuff that happened during that match, fucking wild. But Liv Morgan, not only did she manage to eliminate Tiffany Stratton, which obviously received boos from the crowd, but she eliminated Bianca fucking Belair. Bianca, Jane Cena. She eliminated her. That's pretty wild, I would say. And the finish of the match was a little bit fucked up, I would say. After Liv eliminated Bianca, Liv hit like 57 code breakers, by the way, which I know that Jericho was like fucking, he blew a huge load to this, I assume. No disrespect to Liv or anybody there. But, I mean, seeing the code breaker, he was like, holy shit, 5 stars, 7 stars, whatever it is. But Liv took the manhandle slam right after eliminating Bianca, and she lost to Becky. And again, pretty sudden finish. I would have let the moment of Bianca getting eliminated just breathe a little, because it's a huge fucking deal to eliminate her, especially being Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan is not being presented as a scrub or anything, but she's definitely not on the level of Bianca, or at least they haven't made us think that she is on that level. So, yeah, very, very shocking, I would say. The Judgment Day. The Judgment Day, the Judgment Day, the Judgment Day. So, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, they had a match against New Cash Republic, Brandon's favorite team, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Dominic Mysterio was out there with them, getting, huge heat from the crowd. The crowd was not having anything he was trying to say, trying to do, just getting boos just out the ass. Dominic living the dream of many people. I do believe that being a heel sometimes is a little bit easier, because you can just kind of come out and just be shitty and get the cheap heat and whatever. But just getting the amount of attention that he does, fantastic. I know that Eddie is, looking down from heaven, and just he's got a big smile for his son. They cut off the feed of the show because after he interfered during the match, as Drew McIntyre would say, Cole was first of all having none of it. He was like, "Oh, get him out of here, get him out of the WWE," and Don was kind of just like looked over to Cole, and then he started like flexing. And while he was doing that, Graves was like, "Oh, you should," he was like pointing like, "You should hit him." So that was pretty funny. They cut off the feed because the crowd was flipping off Dom, so they couldn't have that on the show, which I think that's kind of silly. At the end of the day, it's Peacock. I think these shows essentially have no rating, so they should be allowed to just. I mean, it's a middle finger, just, and it's gonna happen. I wouldn't encourage. Like, I wouldn't think they're encouraging it, but also like it's not the worst thing in the world if Dominic is getting that type of feed, right? The Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, and Priest and Finn, they all look great. Great match. I had a lot of fun with it. Tyler Bate did the airplane spin with Priest on his shoulders, which that move, he makes it seem so seamless because he's so strong. But if you think about it objectively, that's really fucking hard to do. And he's just in there and he's fucking spinning the shit out of him. And, with ease. And we don't even question it because he's just a big, strong boy, I guess. What else? Something, well, obviously the Judgment Day retained. No surprise there. Looks like they're maybe building toward The Miz and R-Truth, or maybe DIY. Who the hell knows there? Um, During this match, though, they showed the view from within the stadium to the to the sunset, and it looked absolutely fucking breathtaking. It was incredible. They had a Australian, like Western Australia tourism video, and also like some great, um, some great views there, some great places you can visit. It definitely convinced me to go to Australia. I mean, I've always wanted to visit, but I mean, damn it, that looked really good. The marketing worked on me, I would say. Um, Next up, we had the Grayson Waller effect. It was what it was. It was a segment. The big thing coming out of it was that Cody challenged The Rock to a one-on-one match, which Seth was like, "Oh, you don't have to fight your battles alone," and it was just more of that. Clearly, just a chance for them to have Cody do the most obnoxious entrance in history. He was coming out to do the Grayson Waller effect, and they had pyro outside of the stadium for him. I mean, it is Cody's fucking great. Let me listen. He's probably my favorite guy right now in the WWE, and he deserves everything. But I mean, we're getting carried away here. We don't have to spend the whole budget on his pyro. It looks like they probably did. The real sneak in this whole Grayson Waller effect segment was that at the end of it, after they were Rollins was kind of instigating Theory. Theory got attacked by both Cody. Cody hit the Cody cutter in the suit, fucking goat, and then Theory ate a curb stomp from Rollins, and Waller just kind of did nothing. He just stared at him, and some fans noticed online. I noticed, of course, and I would say that maybe that's something. Maybe a match or maybe a feud down the line. Maybe starts kind of breaking apart Theory and Waller, and maybe Theory goes to being a babyface. Maybe we try that with him, since seems like a lot of stuff has not worked with him too much. And then we got the men's Elimination Chamber match. Definitely a very different setup from the women's. This was a bunch of brawlers and heavyweights, and then Logan Paul as well. Struggling through the match. There was a lot less of what kind of hijinks they had in the women's. In both chambers, though, the black person in the match was eliminated first. Very, very disrespectful during Black History Month. I did like a couple different things. Of course, Kevin Owens was great. At the beginning, he is coming in. He's kind of just in the pod. But then as people kept coming out, he was like talking to them, kind of taunting them. Paul came out, and he started smashing his head on the pod wall, on the like plexiglass, and Bobby Lashley looked like an absolute monster. He speared Logan Paul like out of his fucking gear, and then also Kevin Owens through the plexiglass, shades of Goldberg there. Look great. AJ Styles, I legitimately have no idea where he came from. It didn't look like anything was open. I don't know if he just like got through the door. What the hell happened? Maybe I need to go back to see, but he came out of nowhere. He attacked LA Knight, and he just kind of took care of him. He was, and that kind of led to him getting eliminated. Eventually, Logan Paul was ready to use the brass knuckles, I believe, on KO, right? Am I tripping on this one? Who was the last three people? No. It was Drew McIntyre, Randy, and Logan Paul. I think he was going to use it on Randy Orton. Randy got up, hit him with the RKO, eliminated Logan Paul, and then Randy was getting ready again for something else, and then Logan Paul hit him with the brass knuckles, which gave Drew the win, the cheap win from Drew. played out onto the what happened with Raw. Looks like they're gonna do Logan Paul and Randy Orton. Are you, if you're a listener, are you excited for that match? I don't know how I feel about it yet. Randy is great. He is definitely a ring general. He can carry Logan Paul to a good match, and Logan Paul is no scrub. But I would have liked to see, Logan Paul LA Knight beat Logan Paul for the U.S. title. So it's kind of a shame we're not getting that. But fuck it. Randy Orton's great. Let's just see what happens, right? The main event was Rhea Ripley, the hometown girl, versus Nia Jax. And I must say, much respect to Rhea Ripley because this match was great. Despite Nia Jax being involved, this was a good match. This was definitely probably Nia Jax's best match. I'm blanking on any other matches that I liked from her. And listen, I'm not sitting here to hate on Nia, but she's rough. The spot of her hitting the bonsai, what does she call it? The Annihilator on Rhea was supposed to be a big moment, and I don't know if it was the acoustics in the stadium, but the crowd reacted to it, but it wasn't like a huge deal. Even though they built and move and built and move and built and move, very few people thought that Rhea had any chance of losing, and I think that kind of tempered the finish. If there was a more credible challenger for Rhea, I think that a false pin of that magnitude would have gone a little bit different. Or maybe if they just built Nia a little bit better. Rhea Ripley has some great facials. Right before the end, I think she was going to kick Nia, but she did like an anime pose, like, like a real weird. It was cool. It was dope. She hit what is it called? Why can't I think of her finish? She hit her finish. She struggled with picking up Nia a little bit, it's something that I've kind of said about Rhea, and I hate to critique her on her technique because I am very unathletic and I can't pick up a human like that either. I'm just saying that we should hold up our wrestlers to certain standards. Speaking of good facials, Rhea Ripley got some attention online. So her outfit did. Let me pull this up. So in case you live under a rock, say hi to the Bugs first of all. Rhea Ripley definitely got some attention, and you're I'm gonna put it on the screen now. So, because of her outfit, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say that I wasn't looking at her. It was hard not to. And again, Rhea Ripley, she's a very good looking girl. I'm not gonna be hearing like she's fucking hot, She's a very good looking girl, and she's definitely gifted in some areas. That's not a secret. She can't hide it. But the cheeks were out, and like I said, they got some attention. They got some attention from people completely outside of wrestling, and Rhea seemed to not mind as much. She did say, she quoted one of these. So this is from Covalent TV. We've seen this picture circulating here on X. We wonder why, and then it's got the emoji going, doing the question thing, and it's that picture of her with with the ass out. Rhea Ripley simply quoted and said, "You're welcome," with a little face and then a peach emoji. So, I mean, she doesn't seem to mind. But this brings like a whole new... this brought a whole argument on Twitter about like how women's bodies are looked at certain way, and then maybe men's bodies in wrestling are also critiqued, and also like thirst. People thirst over men's and women's bodies alike in the WWE, and there's a virtue of having half-naked people wrestling, I would say. And Is there a double standard for this? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not. I'm not one to say. I'm not. I don't have the. I feel like I shouldn't be the authority on this. First of all, so take everything that I'm saying with a huge grain of salt, like the biggest grain of salt, like one of those um, pink salt lamps that you use before you get into your sexy time with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. Take it with one of those grains of salts when I say this. And what I'm trying to get at is that, yes, women, I think, have it much. It's a much different setup. I think people on Twitter will go online and be like, "Oh, look at these ropes. These white ropes look great today," and it's clearly like a shot of the ass. Sky Blue gets a lot of this. Rhea Ripley gets a lot of this. Girls like Jada Parker on NXT, which I have another. This is nonsensical to me. This and shout out to these guys, but this is from the Black Guy Wrestling podcast. They put a video of Jada Parker. You won't get any audio, and so I'm sorry on that. So you're looking at it on the screen right now. Jada Parker from NXT looking real good. Again, the cheeks are out. The outfit is very, favors, the lower region. And the tweet says, Jada Parker continues to be a needle mover. The world is really hers right now. Jada Parker seems to have a lot of potential, yes. She's pretty decent in the ring for, I think she's kind of unexperienced, but she seems to be pretty decent in the ring. I think she's doing a good job. She's got a good presentation. She comes out, she's got a little swag. But let's not pretend that this type of shit is not like a clear attempt to just get clicks over like her just, because of the ass. That's what it is. And this is the type of shit that we should try to stay away from. Only it's fine to be like, hey, Rhea Ripley's looking good, or like if you're like, hey, Liv Morgan's looking great today, Bianca Belair is a beautiful girl, or anything like, or even if you want to be like, oh, that ass is looking fat or whatever. If you want to say that, that's fine. But some accounts on Twitter just make it their fucking gimmick to be like, oh, look at the ass, look at the fat ass, look at the fucking ass, and I like that. I'm with you, man. I listen. I just happen to be a straight guy. I like women too. I think I like when, I definitely think that certain outfits that the girls wear favor them a little bit, and maybe it's by design, maybe it's not. It doesn't matter, but just try to not be a fucking weirdo on the internet. It's not very hard. I promise you, it's not very hard. And I've already gone, talk too much about this. I mean, come on, let's just move on. Let's move on. Who gives a shit about this? Issa, you got anything to say about that? No? Okay. Anyway, Raw also happened. Did I watch Raw? Yeah, of course I watched Raw. I always watch Raw, unlike my co-host, Brennan. Shout out to Brennan. He's not here today. So, on Raw, Rhea Ripley celebrated that she won. She beat Nia. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to burp into the mic. Becky interrupted her. This was not... This feud needs something. It's like... I know it literally just started, but they kind of presented it as like, look at these two huge stars, and I hate for them to rely on this too much because they just need something. Make this a story about something. Obviously, Becky wants the title. Obviously, Rhea has been a hugely gigantic, dominant champion throughout. However, since Mania last year, when did she win the title? I think Mania last year, right? Yeah, because she won the Rumble, and then she beat she beat Charlotte in that fucking amazing match, right? So she's been the champion ever since Mania of last year. But that's it. this feud just needs something. It needs some sauce. It needs something to make it worth our while, I would say. Um, Nia Jax attacked Becky Lynch for some fucking reason. Why? Why? Paul, Triple H, what is this? What are you trying to do, man? Just quit trying to make Nia Jax happen. It's not gonna happen. Becky is a big star on her own. She can carry us. Listen, and this unnecessary Becky hate needs to go away. All right, stop hating. Like, it's so forced. You guys don't like her because she's popular, or like, what's the reason? Like the promos, yes, sure. She had one bad promo on fucking NXT where she did like a little Dr. Seuss thing, but I mean, Rhea or Becky's a pretty fucking consistent performer. So I think it's extremely unfair that she just gets unnecessary hate, I think. And this again this is kind of goes back to the thing before. There's a lot of women get a lot of unnecessary hate. We need to stay away from that, man. Come on, stop hating on the women. Stop hating on the women. Sami Zayn beat Nakamura. Finally, I think, is this the second time he's beat him? Maybe. I don't know. I promise I watched Raw. Backstage, Imperium was kind of like just, Sammy cut, he got a promo in a backstage interview, and he said, "Oh, it seems to be a good step towards WrestleMania." And Imperium was just kind of dissing him. They were just kind of like, look at this fucking guy. Look at this guy. Who gives a shit about him? And Gunther kind of was like, he just like blew him off. But they teased something there. I don't know if they're just trying out different things, because not only did they tease that, but also Dominic came out during the Imperium segment, and also he was like, trying to stand up. He was like, clearly made a claim to the IC title. And even Gunther was like, there's all these people that won my title. I've seen that. Some people even say R-Truth should come for a title, or Chad Gable. And Chad Gable also had a backstage segment with Pierce where he was like, what the hell? Like, I want, I haven't forgotten about this, essentially. New Day and Imperium, the Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, fucking, I think this was an all-time hardcore match. Honestly. I'm not just saying that. This was really fun. It utilized the furniture very well. And, this match started off with like 2 or 3 stars for me, because Kofi and Woods both came out wearing jeans. And if you've heard me talked about this before, if you're going into a street fight, wear street clothes, wear the jeans. If you want to wear half jeans, half wrestling boots, or like the knee pads like they had, fucking do that. But utilize the stipulation, dress for the street fight. Dress for the street fight. It looks good. Whenever WWE wants to do a hardcore match, and they do it very well, because they don't rely on like big spots with like, I mean, obviously because the product is PG, but the tags, the shit like that doesn't really come into play. The stuff that like makes you bleed because of the product being PG, like I said. But also they utilize the candlesticks very well. The chairs, they utilize a lot of candlesticks on this one. Really good table spot to the outside. I was a big fan of that. And then Kofi also ended up getting thrown off the turnbuckle to the outside to a table. That also looked great. Imperium with the sneaky win. They didn't really like do anything. They just snuck a win. And Gunther's going to be happy with them. So that's great in my book, I guess. But yeah, great match. If you didn't see it, please go watch it. It was very, very fun. I really, really enjoyed it. Another thing real quick. Drew McIntyre came out to his promo hating on CM Punk again, hating on Seth Rollins, and told Rollins, hey, like, if you don't start thinking about me instead of thinking about the bloodline, like, that's going to cost you the title as well. So that's an interesting dynamic. Rollins and Drew both do not like CM Punk, so I think it's very funny that they have that in common. And if they somehow put CM Punk in the mix on commentary or like referee, enforcer, or something, I just think it'll be a fun dynamic. And just get Punk involved. Honestly, I hope he keeps doing the pre-show panels, like, or the just put him somewhere. He did during the WrestleMania kickoff. He was there, and he was a good part of it. I think get him involved, man. Get him involved. In the main event, Cody Rhodes beat Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller giving Cody Rhodes the Grayson Waller rub. So very nice of Waller to do that for Cody. Cody Rhodes said this was probably his best stuff in quite some time. Probably since the Brock feud. This was probably his best promos. Heyman showed up with it was suspended police or like off-duty cops. I mean, some kayfabe reason. I don't know. It's Heyman, so that's kayfabe, brother, I guess. So Heyman came out and Cody, is this a bloodline setup? Is this a bloodline setup? And Heyman was like, no, it's not a setup. The only bloodline member is me. And do you see any Polynesian blood around us? And I mean, listen, I don't know every Polynesian person, but one of those cops could have been, he could have been from the islands. Who the hell knows? I'm so funny, man. I'm so funny. So Heyman was like, Cody, please, I beg you to withdraw the challenge to The Rock. And Cody was like, absolutely fucking not. And listen, I used to be a fan of The Rock, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, I come from a family where every meal was determined by tickets sold, and no one sold more tickets than The Rock, but I am done being nice. That was good stuff from Cody. That was a great quote, all-time quote, some goat shit from Cody again. Cody was very, very upset. This Heyman was like, may I come in? And Cody just said, no, which Heyman was taken back by this. And then he said, if one of you fucking cops or dirty cops, indie wrestlers, whatever the fuck you are, if you come into my ring, I'm going to beat your ass. And guess what? They came into the ring and he beat that ass. Let's go. Chair in hand, he started beating them up. He threw the chair at the one dude, like, on his face, and the one guy shared a picture later on. He got a little goose egg on the eyebrow from the chair. So I hope Cody got him. An indie booking or lunch or something. I don't fucking know. But good stuff from Cody. I'm very excited for SmackDown this Friday, which that'll be tomorrow night. The Rock's gonna be there. I wonder if they'll set up this thing with Cody. Has to be something. So either they're gonna do the tag team match with Rollins, Cody, Roman, and Rock, or somehow they'll kind of put this in the back burner and we do get Cody and Rock eventually at Saudi Arabia or somewhere else. I don't know. Is there anything to that even after Roman loses the title? Like, does the match have to be before? Do you put it on like a random Raw? Do you put it on night one of Mania? Or like, what do you do there? I don't know, but I'm excited and I'm intrigued, and yeah. So let's see where we at with time. So around 30 minutes or so. So we're still doing good. What else could we talk about? Maybe we could look up maybe some of the biggest penises in WWE today, or maybe all time. I don't know. I know there was controversy again on Twitter, everyone's favorite place, thanks to Elon Musk, for Maxxine Dupri. So Maxxine is a very green wrestler. That's not a secret to anybody. Um, we're not expecting. We're like no one's expecting her to be like the best ever, but anyway. So this is from Fade, but I know that like a lot of people have been sharing this. So I don't think, I don't think the audio from the video is being picked up, but um, I'll put it, I'll put it up anyway for everyone to see. So essentially, this is what it says. Wrestling fans are weird for doing this to Maxxine. It's never that serious. It's Maxxine leaving the like a live event. She's like kind of throwing up the thank you, and there's a guy just being like, "You suck, Maxxine. You suck, Maxxine. Don't come back." Being mean just out of spite. And this a lot of people have very differing opinions on this, and I don't think that you should be mean to anyone outside of wrestling, outside of the context of wrestling. This guy was being very mean outside of the context of wrestling, in my opinion. And I'll bring up again different opinions from different people online as to what they think about this. Because I found it interesting to at least point out. For example, this is not an account that I follow. It's just one that I ran across. This guy at Elite Club SOB, Elite Rockers on X. He is quoting the video. He said, Roman Reigns got booed for 5 years. Seth Rollins got booed as well. Nia Jax probably got booed throughout her whole wrestling career. Logan Paul got booed. They were all baby faces, by the way. It's wrestling. People will cheer the character they like and boo those they think suck. It's been like this for over 60 years. So it's just part of the business. Stop being so soft, for God's sake. That's fine. That's understandable. Again, this is just different. Emil J, the announcer for GCW, said people are acting like a shitty wrestler getting booed is a terrible thing. What happened to the game I love? And I don't know. It's tricky. I think Maxxine seems... She's great. She actually is great. She is a great presence. She's got the wrestling outside of the ring stuff down. She's got really good facials. She's got she presents herself very good, and the in-ring stuff is where she lacks. So I think it's a little bit unfair that she didn't get the whole NXT run and that she's just thrown to the wolves. Her and Dom kind of have that at their disadvantage. Now she does get to work with some of that, top, talent in the business, which is great, but it's hard to learn on the job. So I'm trying to be understandable. However, I do think that fans are entitled to kind of, to come out there and just say whatever they want to say, as long as it's not malicious. Again, this guy on that video was clearly being malicious. I think that if you don't like Maxxine and you just want to be like, boo, Maxxine or whatever, it's fine. But to just straight up like target her like that, I don't think that's right. And I don't think anybody online should be directing anything towards her because she's not very good in the ring. If you don't want to see her at a show and if you want to boo her, I guess that's that. But we don't need to, at the end of the day, these are people and they deserve a certain amount of respect. If anything, you should boo WWE for not giving her a chance to get better. And like I said, just throw her out to the wolves. I do think Maxxine deserves better. And if some of her colleagues want to stick up for her, I think that's perfectly fine. And for the people that think that it's okay to boo her, that's fine too. Not everything's black and white. There's some gray area, and this is one of those things that falls into that gray area, The last thing that I have for you guys, we can finish off with. Again, I probably won't get audio from this. But this Matt Riddle was on the Ariel Helwani show, and they asked him about. I think he kind of just brought. I haven't seen the whole interview, so take this with a grain of salt. Again, the biggest grain of salt you can. And he kind of he was talking about WWE, and he explained what happened. So, again, the video probably doesn't have audio, so I'll tell you what's happening. He said he got fined for failing drug test, and he said that he failed not for weed, but he failed for cocaine. And I guess they found him doing cocaine at a strip club. What the fuck? Listen, man. Props to Riddle for being open and like being understanding of his situation. He clearly doesn't want to burn bridges with WWE, and he's been pretty positive about this whole situation with WWE after getting fired. So I guess that's something, but fucking the balls on this guy. And he's currently the he's a New Japan champion. He beat he beat Tanahashi for a title, which is fucked. Man, Nick Nemeth is champion. Riddle is champion. New Japan is in the mud, to quote the great Steve from ATP Network and Steve's Kitchen. So yeah, Riddle, you need to quit wilding. There's still he's young enough. I think that there's still a chance that he might come back to WWE. So I would. This is one of those things where it's like, never say never. Riddle is a very, very clear case of a never say never. He'll be back. He'll be back. He's young enough. He'll be back. So yeah. We're probably just gonna end up wrapping it up there. Like I said, this was a little more brief episode since it was me on my own. It's just me who's. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure that you follow us on all social media at Midwest Midcard. That's gonna be on Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, and also on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Twitter and just see my opinions and what I have to say about wrestling, I am at AirCarlos97. Make sure you follow my co-host at GrownAssBaby26 on all social media. Again, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe. Share with your friends. Leave a 5-star Frog Splash review on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And without anything else to give you, live, laugh, love, and wrestle.